Everybody just sweat too long. Ready? Want me over here? All right. Good afternoon. I'm United States Congressman Greg Casar, proud to represent East Austin here in the United States Congress. I'm chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and also a member of the House Oversight Committee. President Donald Trump thinks that he can run the White House without any accountability or without any transparency. But Donald Trump is not a king, and the American people deserve answers from his administration. That's why in just the last few weeks, I've helped launch an investigation into the Trump administration's failure to send timely search and rescue to the Texas floods, why I've been involved in my committee issuing a valid subpoena for the Epstein files, and it's why today I'm calling for an investigation into the workplace raid that occurred here off of East Riverside Drive just 6 days ago. Trump said when he was campaigning for president that he was going to go after dangerous people, but instead he's been going after dads at the job site. Trump said that he was going to be going after criminals, but instead he's been going after carpenters, like the carpenters working here on this apartment complex off of East Riverside. The vast majority of people detained by the Trump administration in the Austin-San Antonio area in the recent days have had no criminal conviction at all. Let me say that again. The vast majority of people that data shows have been detained by Trump have zero criminal conviction whatsoever. Here in recent days, we've heard from a pre-K teacher here in East Austin that was detained and separated from her family. A 71-year-old grandfather who was ill, taken away from his family. And now here at this construction site, we've heard of one of multiple construction site raids. It used to be that you didn't have immigration enforcement actions at churches and hospitals and schools. People in Austin should know that going to church is safe. People want to think that going to school is safe or going to work is safe, but Donald Trump is making it feel dangerous to go to school or to church or to the hospital or to work. We know that in the United States, when the Trump administration goes to work sites and just starts arresting whoever they find, that they arrest innocent immigrants, sometimes undocumented, sometimes documented, and that in many cases, they have detained and arrested U.S. citizens. At a construction site like this one, we know that different people show up on different days. And so I don't think the Trump administration likely knew who was gonna be at this construction site. They just knew that at construction sites in Texas, they could find immigrant workers and find Latinos. That's wrong. It should be investigated. We are demanding answers. And for folks in the press, we should all be demanding answers and not allow the Trump administration to just send us the name of one person that might have a background, but instead send us the names of every single person that was arrested here and whether there was an actual reason other than to fulfill Trump's anti-immigrant agenda. The last thing I'll mention before handing it over to the council members here is that when Donald Trump raids work sites, separates families, targets people outside of their schools and their jobs, he makes our community less safe for everyone. People should feel comfortable calling 911. But when the Department of Public Safety and local law enforcement are present or active in these raids, then it makes our community less safe when not everybody in our community would feel safe going up to a police officer and talking to them. That's why we have a long history in Austin of advocating for a separation between federal law enforcement and our state and local law enforcement. Donald Trump taking law enforcement off of the beat. Donald Trump telling our local law enforcement not to investigate real crime, but instead to come after construction workers is just wrong and it's dangerous. And so I'm proud to be joined here by the two of the council members that have been working so hard on this issue, two real champions for civil rights and immigrant rights for all people in this city. So first I'm going to hand it off to the council member that represents the area, Councilmember José Velásquez. And then at the end, I'll mention some comments in Spanish as well.
Good afternoon. I'm Councilmember José Velásquez. Thank you to Congressman Casar for getting us all here together. The kidnapping that we witnessed here by federal and state government is nothing but a systemic and planned targeting of our immigrant friends, neighbors, and families. We know we aren't going to get a reasonable response or just answers as to the why. Community is the most important thing now more than ever. I cannot stress enough, we have to look out for each other and take care of our neighbors. Our best defense is to know your rights before something happens. We are grateful to the many organizations in Austin hosting Know Your Rights sessions, and I encourage everyone who can to attend. Many of them are offered virtually. Me and my team, along with Congressman Casar and the rest of the dais and Councilman Chito Vela, are in this fight with you, working hard for real and impactful solutions to protect our immigrant community. As your neighbor, I have your back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. And next we have an immigration attorney, longtime immigrant rights advocate, Councilmember Chito Vela.
Thank y'all very much. I just wanted to make a few quick kind of legal related comments. Afraid that we're going back to the bad old days of Operation Wetback, when the Border Patrol and immigration agents would just hit farms and construction sites without regard to really who was there, what their legal status was, and was just rounding up people and deporting them to Mexico. Many U.S. citizens were captured and deported in the 1950s. It's a dark period of our history, and unfortunately, I feel like I'm watching it return today. There was some really bad Supreme Court decisions that we also need to look at. In the 1970s, the Supreme Court said that immigration agents could, as part of the overall probable cause, look at ethnicity. This was at a time when the country had a fraction of the Latinos that it has today. Today, Austin is about 40% Latino. The state of Texas is virtually majority Latino. The idea that ethnicity would be part of the probable cause that an immigration agent would have in today's Texas, in today's Austin, is absolutely unacceptable and hurts the civil rights of all Mexican Americans, all Latinos in the state and in the country. That should not be a part of the calculus. We should not be seeing them use racially based immigration raids targeting workforces where Latinos predominate. That is unconstitutional and should be immediately stopped.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. And last up, we have David Cheng from Workers' Defense Project, which for well over has been organizing and advocating for immigrant workers in this community. David.
Thank you. Hi, all. Good afternoon. My name is David Cheng. I serve as the Policy Director for Workers' Defense Action Fund. And we are a member-led statewide organization that organizes Latine immigrant workers who work in low-wage industries to fight for dignity and respect. We fight for safe and secure jobs, including for many of our fellow Texans who are construction workers. So first, I just wanted to thank our U.S. Representative, Greg Casar, as well as Councilmember José Velásquez and Councilmember Chito Vela for being here to stand up for our community and to fight back. We really need all of our local leaders, our state leaders, our federal leaders to be standing up and saying enough along with our community. What happened here is outrageous, but it's been happening all over the country. We're here, you can hear the construction noises behind us. They targeted this place because it's immigrant workers who are building our city. It's immigrant workers who are building our homes, who are building our roads and bridges. They're building our communities, and yet they are the ones being targeted. Immigrants in Texas already face low wages, discrimination, harassment, retaliation when they try to assert their rights. This new threat of immigration enforcement simply amplifies the already despicable and dangerous conditions that they're already in. And so we're really grateful today to just be standing with our leaders, and we're making a call to everyone, to our other local leaders, to business leaders, the people who employ immigrant workers, the people who depend on immigrant labor to advance our economy, to advance our state, and to move us all forward. So we're really here to just call for some transparency, call for some accountability, call for some responsibility. At the very least, we have the right to know what is happening in our neighborhoods and who they are targeting. So thank you again to all of you for being here.
Un poquito en español, soy Gregorio Casar, soy congresista aquí del este de Austin. Y hoy estoy anunciando que vamos a empezar y buscar una investigación a las redades que pasaron aquí en este sitio de construcción y otros sitios de construcción aquí en Austin. Donald Trump dijo mentiras cuando dijo que iba a arrestar criminales, porque en vez de arrestar criminales están arrestando carpinteros y trabajadores de construcción. Estamos pidiendo respuestas de por qué están haciendo redadas en los sitios de construcción en vez de hacer el trabajo de hacernos un lugar más seguro. En Austin le damos las gracias a todos que trabajan en construcción, todos los que trabajan en cuidado de niño. Yo quiero que sepa la comunidad que vamos a luchar por sus derechos y vamos a decirle al presidente Donald Trump que no vamos a dejar que nomás siga este tipo de redadas injustas en nuestra comunidad. Any questions? We know of at least 5 that were arrested. We know that this, according to reports, was not the only construction site that has faced raids. And one of the biggest problems with all of this is how so many of these raids are happening in secret. Masked agents are being sent. Masked agents are being sent without identification. People don't know whether they're talking to a police officer, a federal officer, or someone impersonating a police officer or a federal officer. This isn't just about immigrant rights. This is about the rights of U.S. citizens to know what their government is doing. Donald Trump said he was going to go after criminals, but now he's sending masked agents to go after Austin's carpenters and construction workers.
¿Cuál es ese mensaje que le tienen a la comunidad que después de esto va a tener mucho miedo de salir a trabajar?
Quiero que la comunidad sepa que vamos a luchar por sus derechos, que no tienes que contestarle las preguntas que hacen los oficiales sobre su estatus migratorio. Debes de conocer tus derechos y la gente debe de ir a capacitaciones que dan los abogados para que sepas bien cómo protegerte en estas situaciones. Y quiero que sepan que hay gente en el gobierno, como los concejales, que están luchando por la comunidad inmigrante.
Muchas veces, muchas detenciones que están ocurriendo empiezan con una parada de state troopers en el estado por cuestiones de tránsito y de inmediato llaman a inmigración para que vayan y hagan la detención. ¿Hay algo que se pueda hacer o algo que se pueda decir acerca de esta colaboración del gobierno de Greg Abbott con inmigración?
Mira, el gobernador Greg Abbott debe de estar protegiéndonos de los criminales, pero en vez de hacer eso, él está atacando a los trabajadores de construcción y a los carpinteros y a la comunidad. Entonces, es muy importante conocer tus derechos, saber que no tienes que contestar preguntas sobre su estatus migratorio y hay que tener mucho cuidado porque yo estoy totalmente opuesto a lo que está haciendo el gobernador, pero hoy día él es el gobernador y Trump es el presidente y están haciendo este tipo de ataque en nuestras comunidades. Mucha gente en la comunidad pensó que Trump iba a enfocarse en los criminales, pero no se está enfocando en los criminales, el presidente se está enfocando en deshacer a nuestras familias, entonces hay que tener cuidado. That it? Real quick, yeah.
Which agency was the operation and how many talked to it?
We, one of the biggest problems we have is this lack of transparency. We know that Donald Trump has deputized at times the ATF, even the FBI, Customs and Border Patrol agents, and ICE. Basically, all these law enforcement agencies that are supposed to be keeping us safe, Donald Trump has taken off of solving crimes and has sent them at immigrant workers. So that's part of what we're asking is for real transparency about which construction sites they're hitting and which law enforcement agencies they're depriving of needed staff to fulfill Donald Trump's political kidnapping missions. I mean, the ATF is supposed to be preventing mass shootings and guns from getting in the hands of dangerous criminals, and instead sending the ATF and the FBI after somebody who's just trying to do their job is really dangerous, and it's really not what I think anybody voted for. You got something else?
Yeah, I was going to ask if KVUE was involved. You know,
I don't have knowledge of that, but I've heard no reports of APD being involved in any of these things, so I don't suspect that they were.
¿Han tenido contacto directo con las familias involucradas o impactadas?
En este sitio de construcción todavía no, pero si conoces a familias impactadas, por favor, le pido a la comunidad que manden un mensaje o una llamada a mi oficina, pero sí estamos en contacto con varias familias que han sido separadas en los últimos días, incluso una maestra en una escuela, una maestra de cuidado de niño y otros trabajadores. Okay, guys, thank y'all. And if you want any B-roll of me with the construction site or anything, if it's better for your folks. Sorry, I know it's hot.